Hey guys, welcome to the Massive Iron channel, Massive Iron Live. It is Friday, September 23rd, 2 days before my mom's birthday, just in case you want to get my mom a present. If you do, I'll give you, no, I'm not going to give you her address. How you doing, guys? It is Friday. Glad you guys are here with me. And before we get into things, let's fire this up. Um, what was I gonna say? I got my dog here, and this is Buddy Boy, and Buddy Boy is giving me trouble. So, before we get into things, guys, just a couple housekeeping things. If your questions don't go through, it's not me ignoring you. It is YouTube not posting your questions. Try shortening your questions, or you can head over to the Instagram, slide into my DM, post up your questions, and I would be glad to answer them. And what else am I going to say? I'm here every Friday at 11 a.m. Eastern. It's actually sunny here in Ohio today. So please consider joining me every Friday. Post up all the questions you want. You're not bothering me. That's why I'm here. I'll stay on as long as you have questions. So a couple other things. If you're new here, there are no dumb questions. There are no stupid questions. Just awkward questions, weird questions, questions that make you scratch your head a little bit. But seriously, if you're new here, don't be intimidated. Please post up a question. I'd be glad to help you out. Let me know where you guys are tuning in from and what do you got going on this weekend. As you can see, hoodie weather is back. Yes, hoodie weather is back. It was 93 here in Ohio 2 days ago, and it's freaking freezing this morning. I went to put gas in my car. I had to take little guy for his needles today. He had to go to the vet for some needles, and I walked outside, and it was absolutely freezing. Freezing. So it's hoodie weather. And speaking of hoodies, if you post a question before Massive Live starts, you get a chance to win a free t-shirt or hoodie. So you can win a Massive Iron hoodie shipped anywhere in the world on my dime. All right, guys, let's dive into things. How are things going? You see any interesting videos this week? What's been on your mind from a lifting standpoint? Seen any controversy? Any questions arise? There was a video this week that was being sent out to myself, Faz, guys like Jeffrey Verity Schofield, and it was about one set training to failure. People are asking me what I thought about it. This sort of stuff's been around forever, guys. You know, the hit Jedis have been around forever. The one set to failure guys have been around forever. The only thing you really need to know about it is that we need to stick with convention. We don't need to seek minimums, meaning one set to failure. We don't need to seek maximums, meaning how much volume can we do before we kill ourselves. In addition, the whole concept of every exercise to failure just blows my mind with how naive it is. The demands of every exercise are different. So some exercises are super easy to take to failure. They're not punishing, like barbell rows. What happens? Your speed slows when you're driving your elbows back, and that's more form failure. That's not going to punish you. Bench, usually it's not very punishing. Squats and deadlifts, very punishing. I even find going to failure on curls to be punishing on my connective tissue. So the whole concept of hit training and pushing every set to failure, it's just founded on a flawed premise or a general lack of understanding, and something that was never talked about back in the day, that the demands of every exercise is different. No shit, right? I mean, no kidding. Are we not smarter than this? But if you run into someone on the YouTubes or some schmuck trainer or gym bro at your gym, so you got to train every set to failure, bro. No, you don't. No, you don't. I've taught on this channel. Look, we wanna push sets hard, and my clients are pushing a lot of sets hard. But what we typically teach and what I've taught for over a decade is to push every set that you're going to push deep, not every set. Any set you're going to push deep, push for as many quality reps as possible, stopping that set when you feel like you're going to fail on the next rep or when you feel form is going to break down. Period. End of story. So we're taking a nap here on Daddy's lap. He'll probably just sit here the entire live. So I'll try not to let my arms go numb. All right, let's dive into things, guys. Let's roll. Post up some questions. Let's have a big week. HB, for an upper posterior routine, is there a minimum number of sets you recommend each session should include? No, not really. Whether we're doing a posterior or a body part split or a full body, we have to start by looking at weekly volume, and then we break it down into the structure. So it's like a recipe. Like you're making a recipe, you put your ingredients into place. In this case, your exercises or your sets per body part, and then you just slice them and dice them. I don't generally seek minimums. From the position of placing your work into a split, whether it's a body part or upper posterior, once your ass is in the gym, then you can start to adjust things as needed. Do I want one more set here, one fewer set here? Like, for example, on RDLs, as I got stronger, I decided I only wanted to do 2 sets per exercise. On dumbbell rows, when I got them up close to 200s, 1 set was enough. So on the other hand, sometimes I do 5 sets for seated cable rows. Sometimes I do 5 sets for lat pull downs. It just really depends on the mood. So no, there's not a minimum number of sets. I don't advocate arbitrary minimums. Not that you can't go lower, but really, once you have your split all sliced and diced out, then it has to be adjusted based on your needs, your time, and how things are feeling for you. But I don't like just slopping away a bunch of sets just arbitrarily if you can help it. Brendan, if you have 2 push workouts a week, could I do the first one like flat bench, dumbbell press, flies, and second one flat bench followed by a shoulder workout and some triceps? So just for clarification, you have flat bench, which is a chest focused. You have the dumbbell press, which I'm assuming is a seated. If it was a standing dumbbell or a seated overhead dumbbell press, then you'd be good here. If that is a chest press, then no, because if you're doing chest on that first workout, and in the second workout you're doing chest, shoulders, triceps. Number one, that's not enough tricep work. Number two, it's not balanced. It's heavily slanted towards chest. Brennan also added, I've also tried blower splits every week and I seem to get weaker. That's not, look, I'm not laughing at you, Brendan, but that's not the bro split. If you can't get stronger or hit +1s on a bro split, something else is going on. A bro split is not going to do that to a lifter. It's just simply not. That is either diet or some other issues going on. But, before the modern era, nearly back in my early days, nearly everybody used a body part split and everybody was able to work them. So something else is going on and I don't know what. It could maybe be a mental disconnect, but you should not be getting weaker on any split. Simply stated, you should not be getting weaker. If you have one workout where you dip, that can be normal. That happens to everybody. But if you're getting, like, to say you're getting weaker, are you getting weaker on like 3 or 4 consecutive workouts? Number one, I find that difficult to believe. unless your diet is absolute crap. And I'm not trying to be confrontational, but we need to clarify here so there's no confusion for people. It's very unlikely you're getting weaker over 2, 3, 4 consecutive workouts. If so, something else is really, really wrong in the picture, because people do not get weaker lifting weights. You get weaker not lifting weights, right? You get weaker not lifting weights. Once you have a strength level, let's say somebody had 135 by 10 on bench, they're not going to get weaker only training it once a week. If anything, if anything, it'll be almost impossible to not hold things steady. So we would need a little bit of clarification. Stein and Brennan, I would challenge you. I don't know your situation. I don't, but I would challenge you to look. I know this, Brendan. If you come work out with me and you did 135 by 10 on a lift, I will kick your ass 7 ways to Sunday to make sure you get 11. You have to go in there with that attitude. You have to go in there with that attack attitude, regardless of what split you're doing. Stein, happy Friday, folks. Only hiking will be back before the live. Out hiking, sorry. Enjoy the time, Stein. Ron House. I got ahead of myself. I cross-wired some stuff. Ron R, dog in the house. Thoughts on flat bench 3 by 8 by 10, then flat dumbbell press? No, we already kind of covered this. You don't want to, wait. If you're doing a body part split, wait, I've got confused a minute. Hold on. Brendan, you were sorry, I couldn't remember if you were the person that asked about the 2 uppers. So if this is in the context of the upper, no, you don't want to. You want to have you want to probably do a flat dumbbell bench, and then a seated dumbbell overhead press. And you're welcome. I hope I helped some. Sebastian, is it okay to train full body 4 days in a row? Why would you? Okay. You can do anything you want, but that makes no sense. I'm not a big proponent of that unless it's like in the drunk Russian context where you have restricted sets per exercise. So I guess I need to backtrack a little bit. In the context of like the drunk Russian, where you have a couple sets or things are structured really, really solidly, you could. I'm not against training full body 4 days a week. What I am kind of against is doing it 4 days in a row. I would, depending, it could work depending on the split, but it has to be done right. But if you're only going to train 4 days a week, it's probably best to do 2 on, 1 off, 2 on, 2 off, or something like that. Give yourself a little bit of a rest. And that's kind of why I did the knee-jerk reaction. But if you don't have any other options, you could either do a 2-day on, 1 day off, and then 1 day on. You could do 3 days a week and just cycle between the workouts. Or, you could do 4 days a week if you have the volume and exercise selection, slice and dice properly. And I apologize, Sebastian, because I jumped in answering that question with a big no, why would you? And I didn't really think it through. My brain was like, if you can only train 4 days a week, don't do it right in a row. Do 2 days on, 1 day off. Take a rest day in between if you can. Team Massive, thankful for BHUD and another Friday Live. Thank you. I appreciate that. Paul X, any guidance on hand-on bar placement, close versus standard grip press? Basically, the biggest problem with close grip press is people bring it in way too much. And what happens is their wrists get inside of their elbows. They cause internal shoulder rotation, extra stress on the wrist. Basically, a close grip bench is going to be about a palm. A good starting point is about a palm's width inside your bench. So if your bench is here, you move that in a palm. That would be about your close grip. A close grip is not dramatically different from your regular bench. It's just a closer grip. It's not the bodybuilding magazine thing where your hands are right next to each other. Soy sauce, been in calorie maintenance for 6 months, but had Taco Bell binge last night. When will energy be available for crushing a PR? It depends on how much you blow out. All right. Why do many people advocate dumbbell press over barbell for chest? Not many, some, a very small amount. Both are the best answer. And I can't vouch for the ignorance of other people. But look, let's be reasonable here. That was just a little bit of humor, right? So let's be reasonable. The best option is both. The best option is both. Why do people advocate anything? I don't know. Because it makes a good fucking YouTube title, makes a good social media post. Excuse my honesty. But let's be reasonable. That's what this channel is about. The best way is both. The best way for 99% of you is both. And if somebody wants to argue that, dumbbell bench is great for hypertrophy. But always use both. I use dumbbell bench, barbell bench, and plate loaded machine chest press. Use them all. Use all the tools. Why wouldn't you? Let's bring all the weapons to warfare, shall we? What's the downside? With a little bit of exercise variety, the body responds very specifically to unique demands. You can do different chest exercises and they will impact the body differently, and they all add up to strengthen. So don't just use one tool to strengthen and build. Use the tools that make sense. Like if you're doing 12 sets a week, that allows for 4 exercises for 3 sets, as a general rule. So bring those 4 exercises to the battle. And on one of them, if you want to alternate between bench and dumbbell, or bench and incline bench every other week, that's fine. Or dumbbell bench and incline dumbbell bench every other week, that's fine. In my strongest bench days, and I know I was strong, my late 40s, but I was actually stronger around the age of 29. I only benched every other week, and I wasn't benching for strength. I was benching for hypertrophy. So week 1, I would do flat bench and then incline dumbbell bench and then whatever else I'd do. Week 2, I would do incline barbell bench and then flat dumbbell bench or decline dumbbell bench, depending on what I felt like. So I would work in some exercise variety. There's no downside to this. People that are like, only do this or only do that. Come on, guys. I mean, that's getting, not you, Brendan, but just these people on social media pushing this stuff need to get over themselves. Seriously, it's not helping anybody. There are rare cases when someone shouldn't do anything, but you know what? Slap on your BDUs. We're going to war. Get your utility belt on, Batman, and slap every damn tool you can in that utility belt, because we're going to war. And I'm going to war with a barbell, and I'm going to war with a dumbbell, and I'm going to war with machines, and I am going to trash this damn body until it responds. And any mouth that wants to advocate this, look, if that's what you want, if you find that appealing, I'm not going to tell, give it a try. But you know what? In the massive iron world, that's not the way we do things. We try to be reasonable. We try to be intelligent. We try to bring every weapon we can to warfare. How am I so late already? I don't know, Doc. You were still early, 10:30. When doing higher rep sets of squats, I find that I get gassed cardio-wise. Absolutely. Before my target muscles are tired. Any suggestions? Nothing. It'll never change. You can do all the cardio. You could be like me and run 10 hours a week. It ain't going to change, because once you slap a heavy weight on your back, and even if you just stood there, the holding that heavy weight's going to start it's going to start raising your heart rate over time, even if you're not doing any reps. So all I can say is embrace the suck, man. Embrace the suck. This is what's going to happen. Let's just enjoy it, right? Let's just go with it. After like those 8 or 9 reps, if you need to just sit there and catch your breath for 2 or 3 seconds and shake your head, do it, but then go get that extra rep. Vinny P. What's up, Vinny P? I like the new I like the new profile pic. That's filled with testosterone, because I see pizza in the background as well. Right. And you got the Muslim brawn colors. Hoping to see some action this weekend. Do you think 2 to 3 weeks of little movement? No, but just be careful. My general rule is, when you get more than 10 days out from a previous big lift, you want to drop the weight about 10%. And you get about 20 days out, you want to drop weight about 20%. So just be really, really safe. Doc, when doing higher reps, already got this one. Sorry, it repeats sometimes. We get the old repeater. Also, is it okay to increase the amount of time between reps? Yes, absolutely. On squats, in the old days, they would do breathing squats, where you would just sit with the bar on your back, and you can absolutely do that. It's kind of I wouldn't call it rest pause, because you're not really getting that long of a rest period. Absolutely. I give people, a lot of my clients, 20 rep benches. And at the end of that, if you need to wait 3, 4, 5 seconds, go for it. Bald Faz Lift seems to feel that if the intraset rest time is increasing, then I should just stop the set. I don't know specifically what he says, but there are cases where you're doing breathing squats and 20 rep squats that, outside of breathing squats and 20 rep squats, I don't really know any exercises that you would need to increase the intraset rest time. So if you're doing squats and you need to increase the intraset rest time a little bit by a couple seconds, or 20 rep benches, go for it. So I don't know the context of what Fazlift had to say, but he is bald now. Could I get massive only doing dumbbell bench for chest over barbell? I don't like hypotheticals like this. We do both. Could I get massive if I used only a toothpick, a rubber band, and my mom slapping me in the face, with a bag of sugar every week? I don't like hypotheticals. I'm not in this for hypotheticals. You have the capability to do all, so do them all. Could I get massive if I only did this? Could I get massive if I only did that? That's not the way we roll in Massive Ironland. We don't do hypotheticals. We do what's best. We do what's wise, and we do what's smart. And I'm not busting your balls, Brendan, but don't get in the world of hypotheticals. Could I get massive on only one set? Why are you going to try? Just stick with what's conventional. Could I get massive on only hack squats as my only leg exercise? Don't go down that route. Don't. It's not of value. It's not adding. It only detracts. Rico, how's it going, Rico? What's the whole deal? Strength and mass aren't equal. Why does it have to be such a big deal? I just maybe you can clarify. But we know this year from science that there was a study that when you looked at the totals of powerlifters, and we're talking about powerlifters, the strongest powerlifters were almost always the biggest powerlifters. This is looking at powerlifters. So mass equals strength. It does. It simply does. That's what the study said. The more mass you have, the more potential you have for strength. Now, there's obviously other factors involved. We're not ignorant. Now, To build mass, you need strength. You don't just need raw strength. Obviously, there are other factors involved for mass, like you got to control that weight. You can't be foolish. We're not using strength gains as we're using strength gains as a tool to build mass, like progression, but we're not chasing strength for strength's sake. I made a video this week where I mentioned I've never chased strength. I just chased improvement. So there are differences in how people train for mass and strength, and there are differences in how they were built. Limb lengths and leverages can impact strength output. Form can impact strength output. Um, and so on and so forth. But we know the biggest power lifters are the strongest power lifters. And I not only know this from science, but from being around people, right? I've seen enough natural power lifters. These guys have mass. They have mass. They're not any smaller than your natural bodybuilders that are on stage. Will you explain the new features of the new app coming out? What I am doing in 2023, and I've been killing myself with long hours. So if I have bags or extra gray hair, it's because what I'm trying to do in 2023 is I'm trying to build a platform like we have Team Massive right now. And I have coaching right now. But what I want to do is create an all-inclusive platform where people can come for information like the Massive Iron University. I'm going to have features like a year of Massive, where every week we cover a different topic. Every 2 weeks, we're going to start a new workout. So anybody that wants to start a new workout, like a back specialization or massive mass, they can hop on. So every 2 weeks, we're going to go over a new workout. And if you're ready for a new challenge at that time, you can hop on. So we're going to have articles. We're going to have behind the scene podcasts. This is all going to be on the app. Massive University, exclusive podcasts, articles and resources and courses. I'm putting together courses. To do all this, I'm not getting rid of any clients, full-time one-on-one clients. I'm not getting rid of any full-time one-on-one clients. So let me establish that. What I'm doing is opening up group coaching, which is going to be super affordable. So group coaching, we're going to have daily check-ins, and you can check in whenever you want. So group coaching, when you come into group coaching, I'm going to give you a custom workout and you'll be able to there's going to be features that Team Massive doesn't have. Like you'll get a custom workout. You'll get your form checks. We'll have daily check-ins on different things. I will go over your diet, right, and help you with your dietary adjustments, help you with your form. You will have access to all my materials and resources. And basically, it's going to be a really good environment where we're going to have a massive university. We're going to have courses. We're going to have articles. We're going to have podcasts. We're going to have a community, where we can just have the locker room and shoot the shit. We're going to have everything in there. Group coaching. I'm still going to do one-on-one coaching. And I'm not getting rid of anybody, but what I'm going to do is reduce as there is attrition and I build people into group coaching and people leave the one-on-one coaching. I will stop taking on new one-on-one clients and I'll eventually limit them to 30 one-on-one clients. So I'm not reducing clients. I'm just opening doors. I'm going to have one-on-one, but I'm going to have a much more robust group coaching. So basically, I'm not just going to let everybody in, right? This is just we're gonna have a door, we're gonna have a gateway, and behind that gateway, you will be able to access the podcasts. You'll be able to access Massive University and courses and PDFs and articles, and all the features of group coaching and Team Massive. And there are going to be a ton of features. I'm setting up a whole new website platform that automates emails. You're going to get emails every week with new articles and new podcasts and discussions on new workouts. And how am I going to find the time to do all this? Well, again, I'm transitioning to more group coaching and less one-on-one coaching over time. So that's how it's going to work. It's very exciting. It's going to be very robust, and it's going to be the next generation of where I take things with Massive Iron. We are going to be all in this big boat. We're going to be learning together. We're going to be working together. We're going to be growing together. We're going to be sharing recipes and motivation. And I'm going to be, I'm going to be there in a group coaching setting for whatever you need. 3 days grace. Probably a dumb question, but is the speed of treadmills the same for every treadmill? Like if you have a speed like 1.0 or 1.1 or whatever, whatever the treadmill says, everything is probably going to be a little bit different. Like you can't even get barbell plates to be uniform. So I highly doubt that if something says 1 mile per hour on a treadmill, that they're the same treadmill to treadmill. They're probably close enough, but that's where I would use my fitness watch to kind of monitor things. Stein, planning on doing some traveling this year. Next year, we're planning on getting back overseas now that all this pandemic stuff is pretty much tamed. In a couple of years, we're going to be going to Australia. I want to get over to Wales and UK next year. And I'm thinking about dumping my car payment in, getting an RV so we can travel around and do work and see people in the US, Josh, dumbbells in my gym only go to 140. Well, I'm kind of glad they only go to 140. Get those suckers up to 20. And honestly, Josh, once you get your dumbbell rows up to 140 by 20, you're in a good spot, man. Do 1 to 2 sets and use that volume for other stuff. Get some T-bars, some pendleys, some seated, some lat pull downs. You're good to go. Just work with what you have, but that'll be pretty strong. Troy, how's it going, Troy? Happy Massive Day. Appreciate you joining in. The lure signed. Thanks for joining in. Just a reminder, guys, I will stay on as long. We're about 33 minutes in. I'll stay on as long as you guys have questions. So please, if you're new here, post up your question. I'm here to help. Post it up. If I missed your question, head over to Instagram at Ben the Barman, at Ben the Barman. Slide into my DM. Slide into my DM with your questions. All right, UFC shit posting. Best split for aesthetics. The best split for aesthetics, and I'm not being facetious here, is going to the gym using progressive overload over the course of 5 to 10 years. Split doesn't matter. Aesthetics, how you look, is a factor of muscle mass, building muscle mass, and then reducing fat. So that's not tethered to a specific split. Scotty, big hair ugly dude, do you ever feel a boost from something as simple as buying? Oh, yeah, man. I mean, there's something called the training effect, okay? Now, people can discount a new fitness watch or a new program or new shoes or a new belt or even a new supplement, even a new pre-workout. People can discount that stuff, but there's something called the training effect. When we introduce a new variable, it can increase our motivation and results. So it's psychological. Am I a psychologist? No. No, I'm just a dipshit who just yells at people on the internet to stop making excuses. But there is value in that. A new song. I get bored in my gym. I'm going to paint the walls with something. I don't know. There's just value in new variables. Josh sent a question on the Instagram. Let me see. Hold on a minute, guys. Let me pull this up. My Instagram DMs are like a battlefield. And let me see what we got. Live question. Oh, Josh, I already got that question. Sorry, the 140. Sorry, I thought it was a new question. Johnny Miles at 5. I'm 185 at 5'10. That's about where I was after my first hard year of lifting, maybe first 18 months of lifting. I went from around 152, 155 to around 185. I don't want to gain more weight. I don't want to keep focusing on building strength. Can I eat around maintenance? I wouldn't recommend that. It's not the most efficient way. You probably want to do, check out, if anybody's interested in my bulking protocol, head over to Super Living Today and hit the search button and search bulk, bulk, bulk. What I would probably do, Johnny, is use a simple bulking protocol of trying to gain 10 pounds over 3, 4, 5 months. I know you don't want to gain weight, but this is going to be, what you want, what you're going to get from me, Johnny, are two different things. I'm not telling you to gain weight over time. What I'm telling you is to go from 185 to 195 over the course of 3 or 4 or 5 months, and then do a mini cut and knock the 10 pounds off, and then get back at it and keep repeating that cycle over and over and over again. You'll improve your body composition and the likelihood that you'll increase strength. Soy Sauce Nanner, HB had the first question, but I don't even see his comment. I don't know what to tell you there. YouTube is a pretty nasty weirdo. All right. Somebody's going to win a free thing. And I'm going to give a free thing to Rico because I really enjoyed being able to ramble about what's coming in 2023. So, Rico, hit me up for a free hoodie, t-shirt, or just a free hug, whatever you prefer. Connor, thoughts on losing weight, building muscle on keto? Now, assuming we are monitoring calories, because if we want to build muscle, we have to have a very specific diet. And this is not me lecturing Connor. This is just me speaking in general. We can't just go, I'm just going to eat in certain foods and not worry about calories. Muscle building, you have to be specific. You have to be focused to a reasonable degree. So you want to do keto, that's fine. You want to limit yourself to, more proteins and fats, that's fine. Low glycemic fruits and vegetables, that's fine. Just make sure you're watching that scale and you're watching your calories, because keto doesn't give anybody a license not to do that. Less that. What's your take on low rep sets and how to incorporate them? I had to stop them because they mess up my sleep. Basically, once somebody is in a solid intermediate level as a client, I will offer them eventually the choice whether they want to do some form of concurrent periodization. But usually the lowest we go is 3 or 4 reps per set. So, sorry. I thought I was going to lose my voice. So I would have to know more about your programming because, when you lift, that sort of thing, it's unusual. Maybe you're jacked up. I don't know. It's kind of unusual. I'm not saying it doesn't happen. It obviously is happening for you. But, you don't need them to build strength. Your strength shouldn't go down if you're moving away from low rep sets. It shouldn't. It really shouldn't. In a relative sense, if you're looking at a 1 rep max calculator, it really shouldn't go down at all. Desert Jack, something else is going on. Sleep, brother. Sleep, Brandon. Hope it's an easy fix. Troy, with the old close grip Bencharuski, does the bar have to touch the chest? No. And it's going to trigger some people. But on a close grip, remember why we're doing a close grip. We're trying to switch some focus to our tricepticons. Now, with that said, it's okay to lower the bar only 2-3 inches above the chest. That'll transfer some of the focus from your chest to your tricepticons. And I got to set the old dog down. If you guys wanted to see him, he's been sleeping for the first 40 minutes, and now my arms are asleep, and he's looking at me over there like, dude, I want to come back and sleep on you. Richard, let me get a drink here. Got a green. It's Sitting in the bullpen of purple. I enjoy wide grip parallel pull-ups. Do I need to vary grip? No. You don't need to. I would say, Richard, crush those and crush a lat pull down, and you are G to G. HB. Are bench press, dip, cable push down variations enough to grow your triceps? Nope, stay over there, buddy. You can't come back up. No. Bench and dips are more chest focused. That doesn't mean they're chest exclusive. I would add more chest. I would definitely add more tricep work. Definitely. If something is bothering your inner elbows, one of the issues we run into is people will try to keep their elbows in. I felt a little bit awkward, right? So if you're doing a skull, allow your elbows to naturally move out. Okay. And, if those bother you, do something different. Single arm, cable tricep extensions, PJR pullovers, close grip bench. You can do single arm dumbbell overhead extensions, French press, all kinds of shenanigans. One thing, I used to hate the dumbbell kickback, but you can do those bulldozer style and really kill yourself. All right, just watching what the dog's doing. I wanted to try the 4 days in a row because I usually train in the mornings, but my Friday mornings, I understand. Yeah. No worries at all. Again, I just knee-jerk to that thinking, 4 days in a row, you got 7 days, try to slip in a rest day. That's fine, Sebastian, as long as your weekly volume makes sense and you have some exercise selection. All right, guys. We have about, 15 questions left. So get them in now. I'll stay on as long as you guys have questions. You guys can post off-topic questions if you want. Anything you want. Nothing is off limit. You want to post questions on nutrition, supplementation, etc. Go right ahead. The dog wants to come back up, but you're not. You got to just enjoy Sleepy World without me for a little bit, my friend. Yush, apart from variations on the pull-ups and dumbbell rows, are there some hidden gems that someone training at home can utilize? Variations of pull-ups and the dumbbell rows. One of the exercises I really like, and this might bore somebody, to think about it, is the inverted row. I put my feet on a bench, probably at about hip level. Nope, you can't come up, doggy. And I can really drive my elbows back and get a good feel on my back. And you can overload this using a backpack, adding a little bit of weight. You can really get some power. You can do the Meadows row. You don't need to have a landmine attachment. You can put the end of a barbell in the corner or a rack under a dumbbell, and you can do the single arm landmine row. What else do we have? Obviously, you have the Pendley row and the barbell row. If you can do the T-bar row, that's great. I don't know, man. That's really about it, unless you have some specialty equipment. Maybe I'm forgetting something. Doc Yak, thanks for answering that. Thank you. I appreciate it. Seated OHP. Which is better, tap and go on the pins or completely? It depends on the individual, really, and your setup and your rack and your pin height. Dog keeps trying to get up on my lap. For me, I just did these yesterday. So what I do is you want to get your elbows under your wrists as much as possible. I push off for the first rep, and then I don't go all the way down. I don't want to be clanging and banging on the catch pins. So I just started, an inch for the first rep, an inch or two. I really get under it so I can really get some good leverages. So that's probably better, unless you have a really wonky setup. Obscura group coaching sounds great. I'm really going to work on bringing this up to a big, just something that it has a lot of value. Do you recommend any books to learn about programming? The thing is, there's a lot of books on lifting and techniques and vaporous generalities about warm-up sets and stretching and diets, but there's not a lot of good stuff about programming. Um, I learned programming from being in the industry, uh, to um, seeing workouts of everybody else. Working as an editor in the industry, I was able to check the workouts of other lifters. I've always been obsessed with programming, and I think I'm gonna put together a course, to help people understand programming or proper programming. That's going to be on Team Massive in the new year. There's not a lot of good stuff, unfortunately. I try to include a lot of programming stuff on here. I've been doing a lot of programming stuff lately, building workouts live. Um, I have videos about balancing workouts and how many sets, per workout and that sort of per body part. But honestly, there's not a lot of good books. The best way to do it is to hunt down every workout you can find, in the universe, old stuff, new stuff, and kind of, get a pool of like 10 really good full body workouts or 10 good upper lowers, and just start, comparing them. How much volume per body part does each one have? What exercises are the staples? How many exercises per workout? What of these full body workouts are on the low end? What, as far as exercises per workout, as far as volume per workout, what's on the high end, what's in the middle range. Basically, that's how, I learn. There's not a lot of good stuff. Benjamin, do you recommend using 3 to 6 reps for base building? No, not at all. 6 is about the lowest I would recommend. And for base building, someone trying to build up their muscle and strength, absolutely not. No way. Why am I able to lift 200 on chest fly machine, but I have a small chest? Because that's not a good indication, of strength. If you're able to go into the gym and crush 200 on the chest fly right away, it's probably the machine is just, set up with really good leverages. You need to get your bench to 275, 315. You need to get your dumbbell bench to 80s, 90s, 100s. Then you will have a big, juicy, spectacular. Look, I can still make my pecs bounce, even though Lucifer called me fat on Instagram. Maintenance man 247 tips for adductor and groin health. I hurt both over a year ago and I can't get over it. I would need to know more, like how you hurt it, what exercises bothered. The only thing I can say with any injury is what you need to do first and foremost is go back and go slow into the gym. You want to ease into things, and you want to test out some things. What works, what doesn't, what is okay for me to do, what hurts. And you need to focus on what you can control. What exercises can I do? What exercises can't I do? And then maybe try some new things. All right, guys, we got about 5 questions left. Last call. We're going to run about an hour. If you're here and you're new, please post up a question. Had a lot of new people this week, so I appreciate that. For you guys that are new, check out Team Massive over here. It's a one-time fee. But the thing with Team Massive is anybody that's on Team Massive once the new year comes is going to be ushered into the new, bigger group coaching Team Massive. So you on Team Massive, you get like micro coaching for life. You pay a one-time fee for life. You get in, you get form checks every week if you need them. You get to ask me questions. We can go over your programming. We can go over your diet. It's there for those that want to use it. So if you're new here, check that out. And if you're new here, just post up a question, please. Scotty Mac, I'm going to buy your cookbook soon. Looking forward to some of it. Thanks. I'm not a, cooking wizard. I don't make my stuff look amazing, but it's just good, normal quality stuff that I use as staples. Raphael, did rack pulls fall out of fashion? I don't know, man. It's something I keep open for my clients. And rack pulls, I think, I've always on this channel talked about them as being a good option every other week. So if you don't want to pull from the floor every week, it's probably a good option to consider doing them every other week. But I don't know, man. I don't watch what other people are doing programming wise because the way it is on YouTube Fitness. Either you got 3 amazing new exercises to build your biceps in 22 seconds, right? You had bullshit like that. And not a lot of people really get into the nuts and bolts of common sense programming, providing you with workouts, like 3 ways to squat reduce your, shut the fuck up, right? I got an email today, this morning, from a company trying to, lure me into a big supplement company, trying to, encourage me to sell their product, get on board with our product. And they're talking about spot reduction. Like, could you all just go jump off a bridge? I mean, seriously, with this stuff. Will we never move past this? How do I I'll tell you how to spot reduce without any exercise. Go jump off a bridge. Seriously. Troy, ever going to grow the big beard back? No, no, absolutely not. Maybe if I got down to, come on, dog. My dog is going nuts. He just wants to get up on the old lap. There's kind of a mental thing I have, Troy, with the beard. Like when I was big, I hid behind the beard. So if I get super lean, maybe, maybe it'd be fun to grow the beard back and just see how it looked, Obscura. A course on programming would be amazing. I'm kind of obsessed. Also, how do you recommend beginners progress? Well, it depends on, what stage you're at as a beginner. Initially, like when you first enter the gym, what we want to do is we don't want to kill yourself. We don't want to get injured. So the first 2 weeks, I usually recommend 2 sessions per week, 2 sets per exercise, just super moderate weight, just to get a feeler. I don't want you super sore. I don't want you injured. And plus, sometimes you can get sick or weaken your immune system. Week 3, kind of ramp things up to 3 sets per exercise. Week 4, we're pretty much starting a full body. And we don't want to overkill the volume. We also don't want to overkill focusing on deadlifts and squats as primary movements. I didn't say don't do them, but we need to get in our dumbbells and our machines with a peripheral focus on working on our squats and deadlifts in the background. Let's work on our squat form. Let's work on our deadlift form. Let's get our form up to speed while we are building muscle with these other exercises. Let's not kill our lower back right out of the gate. Let's allow some time to strengthen, common sense stuff. So once you've run a good full body for 3 or 4 months and you've established, a track record of some progression, you're building strength, your nutrition is nailed. This is the time to nail your nutrition and really get those minor things nailed down, your sleep, your nutrition, your workout consistency. After that point, you're about 5 months in. And if you're wondering what the noise is, he's attacking his toy. Then you can decide, do I want to stay on a full body or do I want to go to an upper posterior? Eventually, I would recommend an upper, lower, upper posterior. Upper posterior, my way, I believe, is a better way of doing it rather than 2 lower workouts. Having 2 uppers and posteriors allow for a little bit more volume diversity in your workouts. But from then, you probably want to run that for a good year, at least, crushing things before you really get too fancy. TM. After initial run of massive fitness equipment, do you plan on developing more? We do. Massive fitness equipment for those of you guys tuning in. is a new venture for me. I'm going to be selling racks and benches and bars initially, and jammer arms. And if I sell all this stuff, what we're going to do is we're going to take the money, we're going to roll it back in, and then we're going to take that money and roll it back in. And that's kind of how things are going to work. And if I'm going to let you guys decide if, we're putting a lot of work in making quality products. And I know everybody says that, but look, I'm a lifter. I'm not going to blow smoke up your ass. Everything we get, I want the best. I want the best bolts. I want the best steel. That's what we went for, the best steel we could find. I want to know what everybody else is doing in the industry. What can we do to either match their standards or improve their quality? So I'm going to do what I can on that front to present a good quality product. And I hate to be like a, corporate seat. We're going to put out good quality products, but I'm just a lifter, right? And if that takes off, then, we're going to invest in more stuff. But I can't speculate, because if it grows at a reasonable pace, in a year or 2 years, we could see all kinds of possibilities. The reason for, I already got to that one. All right, guys, last call. All I want for Christmas is Massive Iron membership and a new guitar. And Raphael, I got some guitars for sale. I seriously do. So depending on what you want, Raphael, acoustic or electric, I might have just what you want. Scotty Mack, the spot reduction thing gets on my nerves too. Same with coaches who discourage cardio. Yeah, there's just so much stupid shit in lifting. Like a lifting coach that's discouraging cardio. Oh my God, you might be too weak for once. Come on, man. Come on. Seriously. It's silly. All right, guys, that's it. All the questions are done. We're done. Some really good questions today and a lot of new people. And we kind of breezed through things today. I appreciate you guys joining me. Please come back every Friday at 11 a.m. Eastern. And please subscribe to my channel if you do not subscribe. If you have any questions, you can head over to Instagram at Ben the Barman, at Ben the Barman. Slide into my DM. I'll answer all your questions. If you need a good workout, head over to superlivingtoday.com. There's a workout tab. I literally have dozens and dozens of workout options, every possible type of workout you could want. And you can also check out my training app over there with some of my programs you can run. And check out Team Massive over at superlivingtoday.com. All right, guys. We'll see you next Friday. We're out of here.
You're not almost there. You're not almost there. You're not almost there.